You're listening to REI USA Podcast, your prime resource for genuine real estate growth. If you want to jumpstart your real estate career, whether in active or passive investing, this is the right show for you. Join professional home renovator Stacy Rosetti as she talks to REI USA teachers and expert investors willing to share their tips and tricks to get started in investing, sharing actionable advice in every area of real estate, all while putting legality, habitability, and safety above everything else. Combine their unparalleled advice with your strong drive for success, and that incredible real estate fortune will be yours. Now, here's your host, Stacy.
So good. So let's get into some money stuff, right? So let's get into money. So I'm going to show you guys how I raise money and what I do. Now I'm like completely online and virtual when I raise money. There's like 3 different categories. I'm going to do like basic, like raising money stuff real fast. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to just draw this out. Let's see. I'm going to do share content, and then I'm going to just draw this out. Everybody can see the whiteboard? Yes, good. Thank you. Okay, good. Okay, so the way that you look at private money is kind of like in layers, right? And the first, like the way that's like the best way to raise money, in my personal opinion, is to just do like what I call here friends and family. And every time I talk to everybody, there was like, I don't have any friends and family that have any money. That's like their first answer. Like, I don't know anybody that has any money. I'm going to tell y'all, the truth is you have no idea that anybody has any money because you haven't asked them yet. All right. There is a lot of money out there. There is a lot of money. All right. So, and then also you should just ask yourself, like, if you don't know anybody that doesn't have any money, who are you hanging out with? Because the truth is like, if you're hanging out with people that don't have any money, how are you ever going to like grow? Right. So yeah, your friends and family, obviously, like, you can't get rid of family and stuff like this, but you can choose who you surround yourself with. All right. And that's really, that's the key in raising money, is who are you surrounding yourself with? Right. So if you don't know anybody that has any money, why don't you put yourself into a group that has money, right? So, and I'm not sure what your hobbies are or what your interests are, but if you get out and start talking to people and start networking in different groups and stuff, pick the groups that you think might be able to, might be able to help you out. I'm not sure, what it is. It could be like, it could be like it should be political, or it could be like, a hobby like golf, or it could be like, skiing or whatever. Like, so for instance, like my dad, he's a skier. Like, he's been skiing. He was a skier. He's been skiing for his whole life. It's like his thing. And he lives in Texas, and in Austin, Texas, they have actually the largest ski club in the country is in Austin, Texas. And he is a huge part of that group, and he goes to like every session, and he meets everybody, and then he goes and does ski trips around the country, around the world. And that's his little community, right? So, I mean, and that's his hobby, but that's his like community. And I'm gonna tell you, people that ski, they got a lot of money, because skiing is expensive. It's really expensive, right? So think about like, who you're hanging out with, and maybe there's a hobby that you're interested in. Maybe there's a group out there that you could start just be a hobby, and then you could start hanging out in that group. Anyways, what I'm saying is, like, think outside the box. The truth is that like, you're never going to get anybody to give you any money if you don't ask for it, right? And so that's the key, is you got to be able to ask. But like in the world of like in raising money, friends and family would be kind of right here. And this would be in this second area right here would be like acquaintances, I guess is what it is. Right. So this area right here is acquaintances, acquaintance. I don't know how to spell acquaintance. And then also colleague. How do you spell colleagues? Is that good? Right. So these two circles right here are really going to be the most important circles that you have around you. Okay. Now, if you don't have any family that has any money, then, start looking at the people that you know. So, I'm pretty sure, and if I actually, Christy, can you take a look? But I'm pretty sure inside the portal is a brainstorming activity where you can really get your mind going. And if not, we'll put it in there. It's not a big deal. But essentially you need, it's like a list of everybody. You have to list out everybody that you know. Okay, so who's your, like, the things that you think outside is like, who's your chiropractor, who's your doctor, who's your dentist, like, what else, who's like, were you ever in a sorority, right, or a fraternity? So a brainstorming activity, I'm sure you could just Google it too, private money lender brainstorming activity. But like when you start brainstorming who you know, essentially what you'll realize is that actually a lot of people. You could even go through your list on Facebook, if you don't have like a huge list of people that like you don't know. Like a lot of people follow me on Facebook and I'm like, who are these people? So I can't do that. But if you're like one of those people that's like super picky about who you have as friends for Facebook, then you could just go through that list and be like, maybe some of these people here have money. Okay. But the goal is that you're trying to brainstorm all your friends, listing out every family member, all your friends, and then essentially maybe friends of theirs or all the like anybody in your life that you may like meet or know that could possibly have money. And then also you want to be thinking about like who you're surrounding yourself with, right? All of the groups or like networks or something that you're in. Okay. That's number one. That's number two. Now, those are the two like main groups. And then the last group would be like strangers. All right. Now, strangers, you can't go around and ask strangers for money. All right. You just can't. Like SEC, the Security and Exchange Commission, just does not want this. Okay. So you have to be very, very careful about this. Right. But a stranger can become an acquaintance. Okay, so you can like reach out and say, hey, my name is Stacy, and I invest in real estate, what's up, right? And you can take a stranger, and a stranger can become an acquaintance, right? So that's really the goal, is strangers become acquaintances, or strangers become colleagues, right? All my lenders, like my lenders that I work with, like, all my investors, essentially, they all become acquaintances because I really do try to get to know who they are, as well. Okay. I wanted to, have you keep this in your mind that you need to be brainstorming these people and really thinking about who these people are. All right. And coming up with a list of people that you think you might be able to ask. Right. That's the rule. All right, so now let me go back to, and I just want to show you guys what I do online. So I basically build my list up is what I do. I build a list up, and then I can have them come and they come onto a Zoom meeting, and then this is where I can pitch to them. All right, so that's really step one. Step one is like build a list up and put it into like an email database. Remind them that every Monday I pitch. And then on Mondays, when I pitch, that's when I'm getting to know them. And then when I'm actually getting to know them in the group setting, right? Let's just say there's like 5 or 10 people that show up to my pitch every Monday. And then from there, I ask them if they can do a one-on-one Zoom meeting with me. Okay. And that's really kind of my process, just so everybody knows my process. Now, you guys can check out well, actually, first, what I wanted to say too is another thing is you make sure that you utilize social media. Now, you can't pitch out like, hey, I'm looking for money. Anybody got any money? Right? Can't do that, especially because there's a lot of strangers and stuff that you don't know on social media. But what you can do is you can post your wins. All right. And this is really key. And this is really what I think all of the investors, all the coaches for REI USA do, is we're out pitching, and we're out posting what we're doing, right? So take advantage of social. I'm telling you, if you're not taking advantage of social media, then you're missing out. Like you're missing out on huge opportunities, right? So everybody else is like, what should I post out? what should I post? I don't know. So essentially, if you are looking for properties, any property, and actually Christy and Noah do this very well because they're always posting out like random pictures of like properties that they're at and stuff like this. And I do this as well too. And you can follow me and actually follow all the teachers and really see what they're doing. But like, follow me to see what I'm doing. But I'm posting out like whenever I'm at a storage facility, I'm always posting out what I'm doing at the storage facility. Like, hey, I just came out and like counted these latches or whatever, something like that. And my husband also, I make him post out as well too. So he takes videos, or he'll do whatever he's doing at the storage facility. He'll do like a quick video, a picture, and then I'll post that out under his name as well too. So we're both posting out. Now he doesn't get on social media that much, so I do all that for him. So anything that you see from my husband is always because of me most of the time. But still, that's like 2 for 1. We're trying to get the names out, and he has a whole different type of people that follow him than that follow me. And so, yeah, so make sure that you take advantage of the power of social media right now. Okay. And you need to be posting out what your wins are. And then something that I think is really good is posting out like when you close, like when you get a deal under contract, and then when you close on the deal. All right. And when you close on the deal, and you actually, let's say that you sell a deal on the back end or something like this, and you make some money on the back end, post out. You don't want to post out, because I see people do this. You post out like, yeah, I just closed on this deal. It's awesome, right? And then everybody's so excited because you closed on this deal. You just bought this property, you sold this property, or whatever it is. But really, you want to be posting out like, something about the lenders. Like, man, it's like, wow, I just posted out, and I closed on this deal, this renovation. It was an awesome renovation, and my lenders also made like 50 grand on this, or 20 grand, or whatever it is. So you want to post out about like what your lenders are doing, right? And just keeping that mindset out that you're playing a part in like their lives as well too. So you want to let everybody know how much money they're making, or whatever it is. So wins can be anything, and everybody always has this idea in their mind, like, what's a win? What should I be posting out? Now, typically, like when you're getting started, people are like, I don't know, I haven't closed on a deal. What should I post out about? You should be posting out about like any property that you go to. So let's just say that you're on the hunt for a property, right, to buy, whatever, if it's for rehabbing or wholesaling or like buy and hold or whatever it is, or land or whatever it is. Like, you should be taking a picture of like yourself and this property. And how many houses do you have to look at in order to like buy one house? Like a gazillion, right? So you could have like a gazillion pictures of like houses that you're posting out. I used to take pictures of like houses. I'd be like, hey, I'm thinking about buying this house. I'm not 100% sure if I am. I'm thinking about buying it, and I'm not 100% sure like what colors, if I was going to buy this, what color should I paint the outside? And then I would get like 20 or 30 answers like, oh, you should do like blue with a red door and all this kind of stuff. And you get all this engagement when you ask these questions, right? And then the more engagement that you get, the more, of course, you come up on everybody's feeds. So you always want to make sure you post something out, and don't just post it and then like, that's it. What I'm saying? You want to post something and ask a question, like, or something like this. So, but anyways, so social media is a huge part of how I raise money. I'm gonna tell y'all, I raise a lot of money just by posting out what I'm doing on a regular basis. And I just got into this habit of like, whatever I'm doing, we're posting it out just so people can see what I'm doing. And then I get a following. I had one lady, I actually had a friend of mine that like I had not talked to in like 15 years. And I just, I'm posting out, doing my thing. And then she private messaged me, and she was like, hey, Stacy, she's like, I just want you to know that I've been following you like ever since Australia. We studied in Australia together. And she's like, I've been following you ever since we studied in Australia together. She's like, I'm just so impressed with you. And she's like, I just wanted to know if there's a way for us to like, to work together. She's like, I came into some money, and I really just want to lend the money to you. And it's like a friend that I had met and, studied with in Australia like 20 years ago or something. So like the truth is those posting, and she's been following me ever since she's been following me. And it took like X amount of years for her to say something to me. But the truth is, you never know what's going to happen or when they're going to get money, or like maybe it's really all about timing. So the more that you can post out and like really kind of let everybody know what you're doing, the better. You take advantage. I know a lot of people have issues with like, oh, social media and stuff, but the truth is that I have raised a lot of money by utilizing social media. Okay, so please utilize that. And another thing is you can come to, I wanted to show you my page just because I have everybody's asking like, how am I building my list up? I have it on my website that talks about Stacy Rosetti and all she does and everything. I have an investor page. Okay, so I don't know whether or not you have a website or not. I have an investor page where I can send my investors to. And then this page, the purpose of this page is not coming up. The purpose of this page is to build, to get investors. Okay. And what I do, actually, the purpose of the page is to educate people on what private lending is. That's really what the page is. Okay. Oh, there it goes. Okay, good. Okay. So right here, investors. So you can see private lenders and then the Self-Storage Fund of America, which is the fund that I have. Okay. And so come to this, come to my page and just look at what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. Okay. So that you can just get an idea, right? You can get an idea of what I'm doing, how I'm raising money. Those two pages have raised millions and millions of dollars for me. And all it does really is that like you go in and it's the same kind of format that you saw on the main page. Is like you go in and just register for like the pitch or whatever. And it just leads you to a web form is what it is. And then you put your name and your email in. And then when they put their name and their email in, that gets put right into my private lender list in my email funnel. And then that becomes like where I'm just like, I have an email campaign where I'm emailing them on what is private lending, like, hey, private lending is this and private lending is that. And I have a couple of emails. And then, by the way, if you really want to, if you want to meet me and talk to me about what this is, then just hop on my pitch on Monday night. Okay. And that's how, like, essentially I'm all like, so typically I took advantage of the virtual world is what I did. All right. So a lot of people will teach you, go and have a meeting and stuff like that, which is also very good. And so I happen to travel full time, and it's in order for me to raise money, everything has to be virtual. And now if I happen to be in an area where like one of my investors is, then I just, I can meet them and have lunch with them and stuff like that too. But and I used to, like when I first began, I used to do like coffee, and I used to have coffee with them and take them out and talk and stuff like this. And there's nothing wrong with that as well too, but it's just that so much has changed over the last couple of years with being virtual and everything, that I say take advantage of the virtual world. And I'm living proof that you can be virtual and raise money. Okay, because I do that. That's what I do. So that's my spiel, and I'm sticking to it. All right. And so yeah, and then let's see what else. I think that's really kind of the big thing. That's it. So I showed y'all my website. Y'all can take a look at that. I utilize social media. I do online marketing campaigns. And that's really what I do. And then, I utilize Zoom to have meetings. Okay. Lots of I have probably 4 or 5 investor meetings a week. Okay. Just on Zoom, just like this. All right.
Thank you for listening to this episode of REI USA. Let these golden pieces of advice clear your path towards thriving real estate success and start making those amazing financial opportunities work for you. If you liked this episode and want to get more of these valuable secrets, be sure to subscribe to the show at www.rei-usa.com. Leave a rating too and share with your friends. Until next time.